All right, good morning, everyone. It is Saturday with Shala, and today we get to talk about the breath. So, Shala, what do you have to say about that?
So breath is life. If any of you have been to yoga class, I'm sure you've heard that many times. But I want to break that down even more. That how when you are fully breathing, you're fully bringing in life. If you notice that life and the breath representing your experience of life, that when you say you're taking in shallow breaths, notice if your experience of life is that you are mistrusting of the world. So by deepening your breath, you can learn to trust the world more and trust yourself more in the world.
And that's kind of very similar to the saying of like, the world in which you are experiencing is a mirror of your internal world and what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that's so pertinent about and special about the breath, you guys, is that it is free. You can do it anywhere, right? You don't have to go to a gym or meditate. I do a lot of my breathing practice in the car, right? Just when I'm sitting around, I will tap in and check, see what's going on. Where is it coming from? I'm constantly asking people in my classes, are you breathing from your chest? Are you breathing from your belly? What are your shoulders saying about your breath? And the thing that I just experienced, even just yesterday, I had a very unfortunate, unexpected circumstance phone call that I had to tap into the breath itself to really allow me to not necessarily fix the situation, but to help me be able to go through and handle, or more so, soothe myself through that heartbreaking, kind of anxious, unfortunate situation.
Mm-hmm.
In what ways has the breath helped you, Shala, personally?
Personally, as long as I can remember, I'm alive. So breathing helps me continue doing that thing of being alive, but on a purposeful stance of breath. I've been meditating since I was a kid, before I even really knew that I was meditating. And so I remember in high school, I was a band nerd. I know you were too. So it was a pep rally and kids are going crazy. It was crazy loud. And I just sat there and closed my eyes and just started breathing, just meditating, just breathing, focusing on my breath. Just because I felt like I needed some time for me before everything started. It was just too much chaos. And in that moment, it was like I could find peace just by breathing. So it doesn't matter where you are. You can breathe and you can move forward in finding that calmness, soothing yourself.
Well, and I think that that's a big thing that people don't even realize is how subconscious they may be going through their day-to-day in autopilot. And sometimes it just means conscious breathing, not necessarily doing a 5-5-7 or a dolphin breath or an ujjayi breath, but just tapping in with how you're breathing. And just being mindful or being radically curious in the invitation that the benefits of breathing allow you to get out of your head. It allows you to slow down. So from that aspect, people, that will impact your energy, your productivity. It allows your stress hormones to be released so you're not storing fat in your midsection. It allows you to be more authentically seen and communicate better.
Not
They're
to
like,
mention healthier muscles, healthier organs. Like,
there's so many benefits to one of the most simple things to do, that you can do it anywhere and that it's free. So I guess for my own personal practice, I'm all about like a 5-5-7 breath. I like to see how deep, and then I like will grow from that. So I still keep the inhale for 5, hold for 5, but then I'll exhale for 7, and then I'll see if I can get to 8, 9, 10, so on and so forth. How do you do your practice? Does it just depend?
It depends on what I'm going after, but if I'm really wanting to relax, fully relax, I do 4, 7, 8, where I breathe in for 4, I hold for 7, and breathe out for 8. And that really helps to relax your entire system.
I love that. And so for anyone who's watching, Shala has been meditating and breathing since she was a little child. I have only been meditating and breathing for the last 2.5 to 3 years. With the breath, I will be radically honest and tell you that it's a hard practice to start with. Like, it's easy, but it's very hard to train your body to slow down and to really get those exhales very deep. So if you're wanting to start this, if you're going to like radically take the invitation we're giving you and saying, please practice this so the world can become a better place, and that you can be starting to have a better experience with your life in which you're choosing to live, don't have any judgment or expectations around how the breath is going to go. Sometimes just checking in with how you're breathing will be a game changer.
Yes.
And that's all I have. Do you have any parting words?
It's difficult to get your breath to actually be smooth, especially when you're starting or when you're high stress, high anxiety. You'll notice that your breath catches in certain places.
When you say certain places, what does that mean?
That your breath can catch in certain places. It's not always going to be smooth. Sometimes, like, you're breathing in, and you think that you're almost full, and then you'll feel yourself go for a little extra more. You know what I mean? Or you're trying to breathe out, and as you're breathing out, you're going like almost laughing, because it's catching. So it's learning to use your muscles along with your breathing. And being able to fine-tune control how you're receiving and giving that breath.
There's just so many health benefits to breathing too, that like, it's just mind-boggling how I went, 27 years without even like knowing about this, and the impact it's had just in my life. I think the world could radically decrease the amount of anxiety and depression if we all just sat around and did some conscious breathing every now and then. And I don't think that I firmly believe that, people. So that's why we did a video on it, right? That it's important. Yep. If you have any questions, we are always here to answer anything or talk about or give you resources if you need. But otherwise, just inviting you to become more aware of who you are, what you stand for, and who you're being.
Thank you, Alyssa.
Thank you. Mwah!
Mwah.